Hello and welcome back to the second of my tutorials. I'm going to do another fairly basic tutorial today, but one that I know that you'll be using every day really when you're making curtains and blinds, so I think it might be quite useful for you, and that's pattern matching. There's a few ways of pattern matching that are taught universally really. One is from the front, where you pin it and then you hold your fabric, you turn it over, you take your pin out and you reposition your pin. The other one is from the back, where you've got a little bit of the pattern showing on either side of it, and you just match it to each part of that pattern match, so it actually matches on the back, so the pattern match follows on the back. And that's fine if you've got a decent pattern actually on your fabric, but a lot of them is quite close to the edge. It doesn't give you enough to be able to see it from the back, and so I devised this method a few years ago, and it just works. It you know, almost shouldn't, but it just does. That doesn't mean to say that you can skip any of the process that I'm going to show you, because you really can't. You've got to follow each bit, and you've got to have enough pins in so that your fabric's not pulling against each other. But you get really quick at putting the pins in. I mean, you know, don't be put off by the fact that it's got quite a few pins in it, because that's the least of your worries really. It's very simple and very straightforward. But you do have to be accurate with it, and you do have to stitch along your crease line. So it sort of relies on you being able to get a crease on your fabric in the first place. You know, on a weave you might be able to follow the actual selvage, so you know how much distance you are from the selvage if you can't get a crease on it. But most of the time we're actually working with silks or linens or cottons or viscose or mixture of everything, and we can get a crease in it, so that's not a problem. So I'm going to be pausing the video and then showing you some close-ups of what I'm doing, because it's not going to work the way that I did the video on the interlining, where I can just leave it on the stand and show you from a distance. You're going to need to see close up what I'm doing, because if you don't get your pins in correctly, and you can misunderstand what I'm saying on that, it's not going to work. So I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to show you close up exactly what I do. Okay, so I've positioned the camera so hopefully you can see exactly what I'm doing. Now what you do is you have your main fabric on your table that hasn't got the crease in, and then obviously the one that you've got the crease in and you've got it all the way along where you've got a little bit of the pattern showing is the one you're going to pattern match. And this is a good fabric to show you. It's a linen, so it's quite heavy, which is why it's supported on the table. And the other thing is that it's got lots of branches and leaves and little veins of leaf, you know, as well. It's quite important that you get all those lined up, because if you don't, you know, it's just going to look awful. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with this little branch here, and what you do with your pin, and this is important, is you go in, sort of quite away from it, back out, and then right in on that crease, and you've got to be right in on that crease. And this is the point where you can just get it absolutely. Here we go. We've got another. You might be able to zoom in on the video. I'm not too sure. So in, out, and right in. I'm going to go on that little sort of vein of that leaf there, and then again here. In, out, and in. But you don't come back out again. All you do is you just push it in. I don't have a cover on my table, so I can go right through onto this, you know, hard surface, so it makes life a lot easier. If you have got a cover on your table, what you could do is actually just have a piece of board that you can put underneath, so you can pin straight into, and then you won't catch your fabric. Now I've got a plain piece here. Don't feel I've got nothing to match. I don't need a pin in there, because what will happen is this will come out of alignment and it won't stay in a nice straight line, and also puts a bit of strain on these two pieces here. So I'm going to actually put a pin in there. So again, in, out, right in on the crease and leave. And I'll turn it over in a minute and you can have a look and see what the back should look like, because, you know, it won't probably be what you think it should look like. So I'm going to go again in here, right in on the crease. I'm going to go in the plain piece in the middle. I need to get a bit closer with that one. Right in on the crease. I'm sort of looking around the camera, so it's a bit difficult to see where I am and where you are looking. Okay, so that one is a good one to have there. Might need another one there. Can you see it's sort of moving a little bit? So I'm just going to go and grab another pin. And I'm going to... This is why you need a few pins to support it all the way along, because that's not a very sharp pin. Let's try again. In. This is a linen, it blunts everything. That's the other thing with linen. I would recommend that you treat yourself to a new machine needle when you're doing linen, because it will blunt the needle quite quickly, and it also blunts pins too. Now, so I have got this pinned, and I've done it all the way up actually, so you can probably see that. I've already done those ones. So I'm going to show you from the other side, because it's important you can see how they look. That one's slipping. Let me just put that one back in. Right on that crease. You don't want to go beyond the crease. There. Actually, I might put another one in there. Sometimes you have just a little bit of... Let me just reposition that camera. A little bit of something where you just think, actually, I just need a little bit more support in there. Right, okay. Oh, look, see? That one wasn't right in on the crease. Sorry, I'll move it along. Right, there we go. Right, so now, when you turn it over, that is how your pins should look. So this is where your crease is, and you've got a little bit of pin showing here. There's little bits. Now you can machine over those, obviously. I don't know whether you've ever done that, but it's very straightforward just to machine over them. You rarely break a machine needle. They tend to just skip over them quite happily. Now on the back, this is what you should have. You should have your pins just hanging, just nothing supporting them. And that is how you can see it from the front, and you don't have to take the pins out again until you're finished and you're happy with it. And that's key to this. So I'm going to just, hopefully, I'm going to just take that off there. Okay, so let me take it to the machine. Now I'm going to go I'm going to go slowly on my machine. Sorry about that. I knew it'd be a bit of a performance. Right, okay. I've got a tabletop machine because I like my fabric supported on the table. I know a lot of people have an industrial for this, and it works just as well. You know, you're obviously used to it. I'm going to have my needle down into the fabric, and I'm going to go slowly just because I want to show you, but right on that crease. Don't be tempted to whiz along and not be accurate with this, because it won't work. And I'm just going to go on along a little way, and then I'll pause it again, because you don't want to see me do the whole thing. Right. Just come to here. Okay, so I've finished that lot of machining. So I'm going to take it out from under my machine, and then I'm going to show it to you. Hopefully that matched. Okay, right. Okay, so this is what you end up with, and I will bring it closer. I'll do the other thing, and I'll just bring it closer. This is what you end up with. So your pins are still in it, obviously, because you've just machined it, but you don't take these out until you're happy with it, and then you can just pull them out and and that's it done. I'm going to show it to you again. I'm going to reverse it round, so bear with me. I'll move the camera. Okay, so this is it on the table, all machined. I can just move my pins out now, but I'm hoping you can see that, you know, it's all lovely and matched. Even these the little veins and everything, they're all perfectly matched, because, you know, you've been accurate with it and you've just stitched along your crease line. So that's my method. I hope it works really well for you. I'm going to take all the pins out now and just give it a good press with the seams open, and then trim those seams up, and then that will be ready. So hopefully this has been a worthwhile tutorial. It's something that everybody uses, as I say, every day. So, you know, have a go, see what you think to it, and leave me some messages in the message box. Let me know whether you found it easy or whether it was a bit tricky for you. It does take a little bit of practice, but hopefully not too much, and you'll have, you know, very good success with it. So I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.